So with this model, this is really important because as some people found and some people figured out, there's momentum here with what we're doing. So now we're going to shift the language and just talk about use and sobriety. So when you have conversations with young people around their present use and around sobriety, you can actually, remember before I was talking about sort of the swinging pendulum? You can actually gently guide the conversation into the direction that you're looking for, okay? So when we're talking about the benefits of current use and the costs of sobriety, we're talking about sustained talk. What does sustained talk mean?
Keep the same talk.
It's just language that says, I want to keep things the same, okay? So with that pendulum that moves, if I only focus on this side, which is change talk, if I only say the cost of use, don't you want to get a job? Don't you want to stay out of jail? Don't you want to be the first person in your family to graduate from college? Don't you want this? Don't you want that? I'm taking up the airwaves. And if I say weed's going to kill you, and it's a gateway drug, and this and that, I'm taking up this airwave. I'm focusing on change talk, right? And what might the young person do? Okay, they swing the pendulum the other way. And so they're going to be talking about, yeah, but I love smoking weed. You're going to change me? I'm not going to be a square out there. I'm not going to have a boring lifestyle. I'm not going to, just have a normal job. I make a lot of money on the streets. Or at least with the population that I work with, that's within the realm of what they're looking at. I want to steer clear of this side. I, in fact, want to go here. So within the conversation, I can say, with the person who's never ever going to stop smoking weed, tell me about it. What do you like about it? You said you're never ever going to not smoke. Why is that scary? Tell me about why might that be difficult if you can't smoke weed every day? In one sense, we might find out some information. We might gather the fact, like your person might have anxiety who said, I need to smoke just to get normal. But at another sense, we're bringing the pendulum way over here, and then we're letting it go, and they can make the arguments for change. They can say, at the end of all this, when you're saying, tell me what you like about weed, tell me what's terrible about sobriety, somewhere along the line in there, they're going to break things out, especially if you use reflective listening. So I hear you saying you're going to smoke weed every day for the rest of your life. Well, no, that's not what I mean. I don't mean it like that. Okay, tell me more about that. And so you can use it as a tool. And if you're the one who's talking about the cost of use and the benefits of sobriety and not them, you're taking up the airwaves and they can't help but swing the pendulum back in the other direction. And this is for people who are at an earlier stage of change. If someone's at a much further stage of change and they're maintaining, they'll agree with you. Yeah, weed's not a good idea for me. I'm an alcoholic and I can't touch it. You're right on the money with that. But for people who are earlier in stages of change, Lee was talking about having to match up where you are. You can really do a whole lot of good by starting with the sustained talk. Go there first. Have them end up with the change talk. And you can switch that by saying, well, I don't know. Do you think there might be any costs of smoking weed? Are there any things about smoking weed that you like less? Are there any things about living this lifestyle that aren't, as much fun? And let the conversation go from there. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna take a break in a few minutes. There's been a lot of information that's been coming at you guys all day. So I just want to summarize. It's always good to stop, summarize. It's a good skill, right? So what we talked about. Okay, so let's summarize. So we talked about motivational interviewing. It's a way of talking with people, helping people make decisions, make their own decisions, not take responsibility for their decision. We talked about OARS, some skills, open-ended questions, affirming people, reflective listening, very powerful, and summarizing, and just now stages of change. So those are the tools you have that we're going to use to build the brief intervention that you're going to do. And we're going to do that, start to do that after the break. And then we're going to continue tomorrow, and tomorrow you're going to have lots of time to practice the brief intervention, which is a very scripted way of talking with people about making change.